Ducktales! I have a lot of fond memories of the original game for the NES. I played and beat it so many times, I was really looking forward to the HD re-release. Now playing it, I have to say it feels much the same, and in some ways better, but in other ways not so much. Like I said, this game is a remake of the NES title of the same name. It's based on the very popular TV series aptly named Ducktales. Back in the 80s and 90s, Disney put together a block of programming called the Disney Afternoon. They would have all kinds of cartoons on for a 2-hour block, like DuckTales, but there was also Darkwing Duck, Tailspin, Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers, and a few others. Capcom decided to license out these shows and make a game out of it. And all the games that I played based on the Disney Afternoon lineup have been amazing. Now the premise behind the show is that Scrooge McDuck is an avid treasure hunter, who occasionally, with or without his knowledge, brings his 3 nephews on his adventures. The game picks up the feel of the TV show perfectly, as the game has you play as Scrooge, looking for 5 hidden treasures for no reason other than he wants more money. Now, like I said, there are 5 locations to choose from, and you can choose from them in any order you want. Each of the locations had a storyline in it, which I really liked. These will play out in the worlds that you're exploring, and while I like this, on multiple playthroughs it did feel excessive at times. You can skip through them fairly easily, so it's not really that big a deal. Now these cutscenes have the characters on the screen not moving their mouths, but reacting to the people around them. It was really great that they got the surviving cast of the TV show to reprise their roles. It was great to hear their voices again. But the one voice that I really did miss was Fenton's, since he was one of my favorite characters in the later season of the show, and the new voice they got for him was not even close to the way the old voice used to do him. But since the guy who voiced him is deceased, there's really nothing they could do. Now the visuals look outstanding! They look like they were taken straight out of a cartoon. It really was the perfect adaptation of the cartoon series. Scrooge could pogo on his cane throughout the world, and that was fun. At times when you pressed the button to pogo, it wouldn't work, but most of the time this wasn't an issue. He could use his cane to knock a barrel or a rock around at enemies or make platforms, but most of the time you would just use your pogo bounce as your main attack, and the way you travel around the world. Now there are secrets to find everywhere, but it's not very hard to find, because in every level that you explore, if there's ever a section that looks out of place, or just makes no sense for it to be there, check it, and you'll either find a secret passageway or invisible gems. Now there are 3 difficulty levels: easy, normal, and hard. In easy mode they give you unlimited lives, but in the other 2 modes they give you limited lives, as well as making the enemies hurt you more. So if you want to play on easy mode, you can beat the game in about 2.5 hours. Now when you're on easy mode, this game was simple enough for a young child. I would say around 6 could probably get through this game without too much trouble. I could see a lot of frustration in the last part of the game, but overall it should be easy enough for them. The levels themselves were very fun to replay, and they give you incentive to do it this time. There was a bunch of production photos and preliminary drawings in the game's levels and characters. The most annoying part about this is they've locked all the best parts, like the TV show stills, for last. So you'd have to get a lot of money to finally get down to the ones that you actually probably want to see. I really wish the original game was an unlockable feature. It would have been a great game to replay after beating this title. Like, people who had never played the original game could go, wow, this game really is like that game. But that's just like a personal wish of mine. DuckTales for the WiiU Eshop was fun. It had the same feel as the NES game that it was remaking, which was great. You could really tell that the publishers really respected the source material and did a fantastic job. The visuals looked like a cartoon, the controls were easy enough to use, and overall it was just an excellent game. Now I do have a little bit of an issue with the price, as I do feel $15 is a little bit steep for this game when it has about 3 hours worth of content. But I'm still going to recommend it to anyone who played the original game, or a fan of DuckTales, or anyone who loves a really good old-fashioned platformer. The replayability is really high, and it's just a really fun game, so I do think you should download it now.